Did you hear that? Government's National Summer School Program is now in session, and the call is for as many students as possible to participate. Education stakeholders, led by the Minister, recently sat down to answer all the questions parents and guardians might have about government's National School Learning and Intervention Plan. For those of you who missed the virtual town hall, we have the answers to your most pressing questions. Of concern to most persons, will students participate in face-to-face or virtual classes?
We have two modalities through which we will deliver this, online modality and face-to-face. So for the online, we have our service providers that many of your children are used to. We have the Learning Hub, we have Edufocal, we have One-on-One Educational Services Limited. It's their platforms that we will be using.
How about which students can participate in the face-to-face classes?
We're particularly prioritizing those students who have not been consistently engaged with the education system. They have not been consistently in the virtual world. They have not been able to watch TV where we have lessons that are broadcasted. They've not been able to listen to the radio, and in some cases they have not been able to pick up their textbook or their worksheets from school. So we have a program to identify those students, sit with them in groups up to 15 to ensure that we can engage them again so that when we begin in the face-to-face world in September, they will not be lost.
And what about uniforms? Should they be worn to summer school?
There's no uniform that is required for summer school, and our principals are accustomed to this, and you will be given the guidance, modesty and so forth. So we want you to be comfortable in the learning environment. We want you to feel relaxed.
Students, of course, must be wondering, which subjects will they be learning in summer school?
We are mainly focusing on the core subject areas. For grades 1 to 3, we'll be focusing on mathematics and language arts literacy. For 4 to 6, the 4 areas I know most persons will be familiar with: mathematics, language arts, science, and social studies. That will follow through for grades 7 to 9. And for grades 10 and 11, students will have increased access to the subjects for which they would be preparing to sit CXE, CSEC examinations. And that's particularly important for the students who would have deferred their sitting from this period, this July, August sitting, to January or to next year.
Okay, now how long is summer school going to be?
It's only 2 hours per day, Monday to Thursday, that we're asking you to be in the online world, in the face-to-face. It's for the month of July, so the month of August. You can have some rest and relaxation, but even then, the online platforms will still be available for you, and we're encouraging you to be self-directed, to still go on and avail yourself of what is there.
How will students receive learning material?
Our service providers, they would have put together a package of learning materials for the students already. And these are on the platform. And so these materials are accessible to our students. They can read at their leisure, and then they are given the opportunity to assess themselves through the assessment activities that are online. For our students in the face-to-face situation, materials will be provided through our curriculum unit and our officers in the region who are working with our teachers and lead teachers on the ground who are coordinating the summer school activities at the school levels.
How about the cost? Is summer school free?
In terms of the cost, there will be no cost to our parents. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information will be bearing the cost of the online platforms. We will be, for all the teachers and the tutors who will be engaged in the system, the ministry is also bearing the cost of that.
Will students be provided with meals during face-to-face classes?
We actually have some stock in hand, And we are getting new supplies for our boys and girls to have some snack for the 2 hours that they will be engaged in. So yes, we are thinking of our students. We are looking at the needs on the ground. And as we have always been as a ministry, whatever the situation is, we just look at what needs to happen. We dialogue with our parents and our principals and see what can be done.
And finally, what is the aim of the National Summer School Program?
Having gone 15 months of living with the COVID-19 pandemic, I know our students would have been suffering some amount of learning loss during that process. They were not in the familiar setting that they were used to. They had to be online. Sometimes they were not able to get on for whatever reason. And so we have to put in place additional programs that will help them to recover what it is that they would have lost and to take them beyond where they were when we started out in the pandemic.
If your questions were not answered today, simply visit the ministry's website at www.educate.gov.jm or call 888-EDUCATE.